I've been making these zucchini fritters for years, and they are so good and they're so easy to make. Hey guys, I'm Justin from Cooking with Coit. I specialize in clean comfort cooking. And if you love this video, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is grate our zucchini. So we're just gonna chop off one end. We are actually going to use the little nubby end because that serves as a really nice handle for while you're grating. Next thing we're gonna do is squeeze as much water out of this zucchini as we can, and we're gonna use a cheesecloth. You could also use a paper towel as long as the paper towels are like on the stronger end. For the paper towels that kind of break up, you don't wanna use that because that's gonna get in your food. So all you have to do is lay your towel over a bowl, and then take all of your zucchini, put it right into the towel, and then we're gonna wrap it up and just give it a really good squeeze. And you're gonna be amazed at how much water comes out of this zucchini. So you can imagine all of this water in this zucchini being great from a health perspective, but when it comes time to fry these zucchini fritters, all of that water actually works against you in terms of getting them nice and crispy in the pan. So we really wanna get as much of this water out as we can. Cameraman, can you get a shot of this? Look at all this water coming out, all this zucchini water. Now I'm gonna clean this bowl out, dry it, and then I'm gonna set the zucchini aside for use later. The recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of scallion or green onion. So that could either be one large one of these green onions, or it could be two, just depends on the size that you buy. Next thing we're gonna do is mince 1 clove of garlic. Now we're gonna beat 2 eggs. Camera Ann always has something to say. She almost has something to say about every little thing in life, especially how I beat an egg. She is always giving me problems because she says that my wrists are weak and that I don't beat eggs properly. But I don't agree with her. And in the comments below, will you let me know how you feel about my egg beating?
Flick the wrist.
Oh, see? See what she's doing? Flick the wrist. I'm flicking wrist. Look at how good this is. Will you please get a tight shot of this? Look at how good this is. Look. Okay, that's a perfectly beaten egg. Now we're just gonna add our chopped veggies into the bowl. All right, so the hardest part of this recipe is already over. Now we're just gonna assemble everything into a bowl. We are going to start with a 1/2 cup of flour. Next, we're adding a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Not only is Parmesan cheese gonna be a nice binder for these zucchini fritters, but also it's gonna give it a really extra little nice bit of flavor. All right, now we're gonna bring back our zucchini. Let's drop it into this bowl. And look at that. So much of this water has been squeezed out. It's gonna make for really good frying later. Now we're gonna give it a quick mix. And you wanna be sure here to give it a really good mix so that everything is nice and evenly combined. That is super important. We don't want the flour to be like kind of dry and make little chunky bits. So as you can see, as I'm mixing, it's starting to become a little bit more of like a pasty type of texture, and that's really good. That's what we want. And the last thing we're gonna do before we fry these is add in salt and pepper. This is completely to taste. I'm gonna add 3 big pinches of salt. And I think like 1 big pinch of pepper. And give it another quick mix. Now we're gonna fry these fritters up. First thing we're gonna do is add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. You don't have to be like super specific of how much you add, just coat the bottom of the pan. And that will be completely dependent on how big your pan is. Let's just get this oil all over the pan here. And now we're going to add in the zucchini mixture. Just take a spoon and kind of plop it down. I like to form them into little circles and then tap the top to flatten it just a little bit. Okay, so I just noticed that the oil is kind of pooling around one of the fritters only, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more of the olive oil. Okay, and now all we have to do is let these fry. It's gonna take a couple minutes on each side and then just give them a flip. Okay. All right guys, it's been a couple minutes and now these fritters are ready to be flipped. The way that you know that they're ready is just give them a little push, and if they move around all together, then that's how you know they're ready. And you can also take a little peek and see how brown they are. So I know they're ready to go. Let's give them a flip. Ooh, yes. Okay, these look so good. Awesome. All right, cameraman, come get a shot of these guys. Look at how beautiful these fritters are. Nicely browned, a little crispy on the outside, but not burnt, of course. These are gonna be delicious. All right, these guys are done cooking, so I am going to now take them and put them on a plate, but I also put a paper towel down. What the paper towel is gonna do is it's going to absorb a little bit of the excess oil. And as you would probably have guessed, if you wanna make these even healthier than we made them today, just use a little bit less oil. There we go. I cannot wait to give these a taste. They look so incredible. But before I do, if you've loved this recipe and you wanna see more just like it, check out my healthy recipes playlist. Okay, let's give these guys a taste. All right, these look so good. I have also added a dollop of sour cream. This is my preferred dipping sauce for these zucchini fritters. I suggest you follow that direction. Let's see how we did. Give it a little dip. Come on. They're perfect. These zucchini fritters, like I said before, a little crispy on the outside, nice and tender inside. Dip them in some sour cream. Guys, I know you're gonna love these. You've got to give them a try. I'll see you in the next video.